Canada is launching an Artificial Intelligence Safety Institute. Innovation and Science Minister Francois-Philippe Champagne made the announcement in Montreal on Tuesday, saying the goal is to protect humanity.
The need to be vigilant has never been greater. I think that one of the biggest challenges of humanity is around misinformation, disinformation, and obviously when you put AI in that, you just appreciate how much you can do so much faster, wider, and bigger in a way, and therefore the need to work together to make sure that we build trust.
Let's bring in Sébastien Gomes, president of the Canadian Artificial Intelligence Agency. Thanks for being here, Sébastien.
Thanks for having me.
So, protect humanity. Those are some strong words from the minister. There's a lot of anxiety around the deployment of AI technology. Why is there a need for protection?
So, AI is bringing a lot of benefits to society, but we know that it has been used also in the context, for instance, of deepfake to propagate false news. There is also a lot of concern about potential use in cybersecurity, so to conduct attack, and of course there is also all the ethical issue related to the deployment of AI. So I think the idea is to try to prevent and mitigate some of this risk by having an institute that think about this issue in advance.
Yeah, and you mentioned some of those concerning examples of how artificial intelligence can affect society. What about in our day-to-day life, even just your at-home programs that could be listening to you, or are those things we should be concerned about?
Yeah, so there is a lot of things also about, a lot of AI depend on personal data. So the privacy concern, I would say, is one of the main cybersecurity issue. So all the data collected, but also used without the control of user or without against them. So for instance, the price you pay for your car insurance could depend on data that is collected from different way from your smartphone to your smart car, and this could also affect you indirectly without even you knowing it. So I think the main issue that is already happening is the fact, for instance, the deepfakes. This is really important in the context of democracy and election. So in Canada, we'll have a federal election 1 year, and you know that there is a lot of possibility to kind of target the message that you send to people depending on the profile that you have, but also on information that you spread, including misinformation. So I think it's possible, yes, that in the long term there will be some issue with the rise of machine, but I would say the biggest concern should be what already happened in a daily basis about spreading of fake news, about the risk to cybersecurity, security breach to company, and the risk to the privacy of user and or to kind of influence their behavior online.
Mm-hmm. And of course, this isn't a black and white topic. There are some positives to AI. In what ways could we benefit from it?
So I think the idea is to try to think about the risk as we develop the technology. So it's like rather than developing AI and then thinking about the risk, I think the fact that we have an institute that deal with this concern right now is really important to be. Trust is a very broad word, but also very important word. So the idea is that we need to take care about this issue now before the system are really impacting people. They are already impacting people in their daily life, but without trust, I think there is a chance that we don't really benefit from all what AI could bring.
And that brings me to my next question. What do you think of Canada's new AI Safety Institute? Is it going to be helpful? Do you think it's enough?
So, this is the institute had just been launched, so I think we need time to see what is the impact. But of course, the fact that we have one institute on such specific topics, the safety is really important, and I'm hoping that in 1 or 2 years we'll have some research that also impact in a positive way Canada.
Are there any suggestions you have for people at home watching this to protect themselves from some of those cybersecurity concerns, for example?
So I think one important thing is I was mentioning that's privacy. So I know we have often the feeling that we are tracked from so many different ways that some people would say privacy is dead, I can do nothing. But actually the fact of trying to not give data that seems optional when you register to a system, or try to look at the terms and conditions or the different alternative in terms of data collected from different applications, I think this is the basic thing that people do. Also be careful about your security online, not fall into the phishing kind of attacks, and this kind of thing is very important too. So go back to privacy protecting privacy and cybersecurity principle for user is also, I think, important to avoid such a risk.
Okay, noted. So when you see those lengthy terms and conditions in front of you, make sure you're reading them. Sebastian, thank you so much for your insight today. That's Sebastian Gams, president of the Canadian Artificial Intelligence Agency.